It's okay. Off your mic. It's okay. Off your mic.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. Ingo torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we loud, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun diary politico, yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. This one not the off in mind, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Can in the touchlight every corner, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. See them talk say make we off mind, but thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you loud, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun diary politico, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. This one not the off in mind, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Maiyegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Maiyegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day, then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say, make we no talk. But thank God say, Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you loud, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make you shout, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don't come.
Thank you very much for joining me tonight from wherever you are watching from. This is Maiyegun live, and you can share the broadcast. Invite your friends. I want to talk like a gentleman tonight. So, if you have the time, share the broadcast. And to my friends on YouTube, I want to say hi to many of you who are just new subscribers onto Maiyegun's Diary Political. If you can hear me, right? If you're watching me on, this is your first time of watching Maiyegun or first time of joining me live on Maiyegun's Diary Political, you can just say hi. And the brethren in the Temple of Truth, you can say hello and welcome to the Temple of Truth to all the newcomers.
Maiyegun diary political. Godfatherism, kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Maiyegun. Maiyegun diary.
Tonight, we're going to talk about like Afghanistan, like Nigeristan. Nigeria is a country where the northern Nigeria, despite the havoc being wreaked by the different terrorist group every day in that part of the country and in the rest, the other part of the country as well, they get a free pass in northern Nigeria. And the story of Afghanistan, the Taliban, as well as the Nigerian Al-Qaeda People's Congress, APC, their story are similar. And eventually, we will end up in Afghanistan. Share the broadcast.
And yes, we like and yes, we like
Also, the report of, you know, I don't know if many of you have heard that. I'm going to probably remind you and bring you up to date on that. The agenda of them not releasing power to the southern Nigeria, despite all the, you know, gentleman agreement, they called it, power sharing. There is no plan for the northern Nigeria and the elite to release that power in 2023. I'll tell you about the plan, how they plan to go about it this time around to put Nigeria into the road to Afghanistan again.
Thank
you very much. 22 Muslim travelers were killed today in Plateau State of Nigeria. They were slaughtered by those their media called bandits. Terrorism, in my own opinion, doesn't really recognize any religion. When these criminals who are perpetrating this crime, who pledged their allegiance to ISIS, a typical terrorist organization that were covered, protected by the government of Taliban in Afghanistan. Let me tell you a bit what I know about the Afghanistan, the Taliban, the American, and today who are now coming back to power. Taliban, as you must have probably heard, they are not really a terrorist organization. They were like a government, you know, a party, a people that actually formed government in Afghanistan. But what linked them to terrorism was when America was being attacked, or different foreign terrorist attacks were being staged in America, they found out that the key plotters, the planners, the financiers, they are staying in the hills of Afghanistan, protected by the Taliban government. So every effort of the American to go there and get them were rebuffed. It's either the Taliban will alert the terrorists until when Osama bin Laden plotted the 9/11. So what happened after was that the Taliban had to fall. So America moved in. It was a war. And Taliban government fell. And from then on, they decided to put together a government of national unity. How is that related to Al-Qaeda People's Congress in Nigeria? APC, Egbe came together for something that we can call power grab. In the process of arranging on how to grab power in Nigeria, they conspired and cooked up a propaganda that made it pretty much like Muslims versus Christians, Northern Nigeria versus Southern Nigeria, and a survivor of the fittest, to the point that they went about and brought in armed terrorists to the borders of Nigeria in case if they don't win the 2015 election. Now, eventually they managed to use America on their side. They sent a delegation to America to go and tell America to stop selling weapons to Nigeria and stop all their allies all over the world from selling weapons to Nigeria, because you see the weapons Nigeria was going to get from America, they are not going to be used to fight terrorists. They are going to be used to fight political opposition. And who were those in that delegation? Tifnumbu, Rufaya, this guy who is now a senator, the former governor of Borno, Shetima, and many of them like that. Obama welcomed them into White House in America, and they agreed with them. And every other propaganda that followed, including the kidnapping of school children in Nigeria, which was the height of it. America placed embargo on Nigeria not to get any weapon to fight the terrorists, while the terrorists were having access to more weapons, regrouping. And they were telling themselves that Nigeria is going to be their next world capital. Well, they didn't believe they would lose power. It was meant to be an upstage, a sort of a civil war. If Goodluck Jonathan didn't hand over that power in 2015, It was all planned and staged and ready. They brought these guys in. El-Rufai came out and he said he actually, after becoming governor in 2015, he went all about West Africa and far and beyond to go and tell the Fulani terrorists that they can come back to Nigeria now because their brother is in power. So when they gained power, it was pretty much like, we can only give you cover. Now we can't really destroy the country the way we wanted to anyway. There will be no reason for it, but here you are. Have your field day. Nigeria will pay for it for 6 years. Rather than Nigeria under this Al-Qaeda People's Congress, rather than them to bring forward or bring forth all the criminals that you have been reading about and their crimes, right, to bring them to justice, rather than do that, they have released more terrorists. And they have an arrangement to pardon terrorists and cover them, release them back into the society. They call that arrangement reintegration, rehabilitation, reintegration of terrorists, just like the Taliban were doing. And these guys were going back to the same communities that they destroyed, where thousands of people were killed. Over 350,000 people have been killed for the past 12 years since this onslaught began in Nigeria. But for 6 years under Boko Haram, under the Al-Qaeda People's Congress, they have released over 7,000 of them. And they are not hiding it. The military came out and they said, there is no law, by the way, there is no law that actually gave them that right to release any criminal through a backdoor arrangement called Operation Safe Corridor. But they are doing it to continue to endanger our lives. They are also what? They are also integrating them into the military. Terrorists would never face any justice. Walk straight into government job of killing. And he is not being sent back to go after other terrorists. He's being sent after everyone from southern Nigeria that ever stands up or ever kind of, push anything to stop the invasion of their land. Now, that is the arrangement. That is the ongoing arrangement in Nigeria. Right? So people are now saying, does that then mean that one day we can wake up and then we'll have the ISIS guys? Before now, under Boko Haram, before Boko Haram, we had Nigeria and northern Nigeria, northeast Nigeria was battling with Boko Haram. Alhaji Shekau, every now and then. Oh, we have killed Shekau. They killed him 3 times under good luck, Jolantan. Under Boko Haram, they killed him 2 times. And I think this time around, they said his own members killed him. But under Boko Haram, when they came in, it was Boko Haram. But 6 years after they came in, we now have the Boko Haram Part 1, Boko Haram Part 2. We have the ISWAP, Islamic State of West Africa Province. Now, they now have the umbrella body called the ISIL, right? Now, ISIS also control those they claim to be bandits. Now, when you look at the operational level of the bandit and the Fulani herdsmen, the Fulani armed herdsmen, the criminals, yeah? When you see the way they all operate, they operate the same way. The same terror. And all of this were not there before the Al-Qaeda People's Congress, APC, Egbekegbe, took over power in Nigeria. So they diversified terrorism in Nigeria. It became a bigger industry. No criminal is standing any trial for all of this right before our eyes. They became bigger, mightier. And within 6 years of Boko Haram's government alone, they have killed over 6,000 security forces. 6,000, over 6,000. And if I am not going to sound exaggerative somehow, this year alone, they have killed over 1,200 Nigerian soldiers, especially in the hands of the bandits. This 2021 alone. police, this, that, you know what I mean? But whenever they are caught, there is no program at all for their trial. The only existing program is for them to wait on and for them to repent. Nigeria spent over 10 trillion naira. A poor country like Nigeria spent over 10 trillion naira battling with insecurity. And that same Nigeria has no single law or program to punish the terrorists. Rather, they have program to free them. And the further program they have for them is that they can also recruit them into the Nigerian military. Now they have access, the license to kill. So then people said, maybe one day we're just going to wake up and they're going to tell you that the northern Nigeria is now an Islamic caliphate. And this is where this becomes worrisome. The idea of Islam that these marauders are pushing and those who are protecting them is so dangerous to those who are even Muslims in northern Nigeria, as they are sacrificing the lives of Christians in northern Nigeria. And then furthering that, one day, maybe they will just tell us that these guys have overrun the entire northern Nigeria. Because there's something I know very well. There is no amount of power they have. There is no amount of army they have and weapons they have, protection they are enjoying right now. And as much as they stay in that forest in northern Nigeria, I don't care what firepower they have, they cannot overrun southern Nigeria. And that is where it becomes worrisome. Yes, they kill Christians, they kill Muslims, they kill everyone that comes up through their path, and they don't even ask questions. So the same people who are protecting terrorists who have power, firepower, to shoot down military jets, to shoot down fighter jets, and that same people are hell-bent in keeping that power that they can't even use to protect themselves, simply because in that chaos lies their power. And they have told you, 2023, it is still going to be the turn of the northern Nigeria. Some of you are going to say it's impossible, but many of you are not really prepared to prove that it is impossible. You are not prepared. Because if I tell you that they will do it, and it is possible 100%, right? All they need is a country in chaos, and they already have it. Southern Nigeria is in turmoil, economic turmoil, unemployment, increased crime, kidnapping increasing, and then this mass killing by the Fulani terrorists also increasing. They did it in Enugu, they did it in Anambra, they did it in Ebonyi. And as you are watching this video, they are still telling them that they are coming. Meanwhile, those they are recruiting into Nigeria military, given the Nigeria military uniform, are also being sent to the eastern Nigeria to further keep up the fire, because a chaotic country is the only country that their elite, the northern elite, can use to further hold on to power. And it is 100% possible. You see, you may not know that they put 1999 Constitution together for a time like this. For some of you who will say something is impossible, take a look at this. 1999 Constitution says anyone to be the president of Nigeria. Well, let's put it this way. 1999 Constitution says anyone who is in charge of the federal government of Nigeria is in charge of the 98% of decision-making, monetary policy, everything that has to secure, all of that has to do with Nigeria and the lives of Nigerians. That person and that gang of, group of people who will be in charge of that federal government will be in charge of the lives of 98% of you. And to be able to hold that person or that group of people, whether a political party, they must have the support and the vote of 2/3 of the country. While you and I are very blunt with what we have, what we want. There's no point in going into any abracadabra with them, whatever their plan is. The only thing we wanted to discuss is what? Just let's get away from this whole nonsense, right? But the 1999 Constitution there also says, wherever no one could make up that two-third majority, that is, to win in some part of the South, win in some part of the North. If you can't do that, you can't be president, so you have to go for a rerun. When you go for a rerun, it simply means whoever now wins the highest votes will then be declared the president. In their circle, their argument is that they can no longer trust the South with power. And that simply says, whoever, it doesn't matter if the person is sleeping in the same room with them, if the person is privy to all their plot and the rest of that, they just can't let that power sleep for one day. It is too dangerous for what they have done. They have punched everybody on the face. They have, there's no part of Nigeria that hasn't felt the brunt of these criminals. Letting that power slide away is something they don't want to do. So therefore, they will put that your 1999 Constitution to test for the first time. And let me tell you this, none of you in southern Nigeria is prepared for this. They have two options to make sure that that power doesn't come back to anywhere in southern Nigeria, whether you like it or not, whether you all go on there to go and register to vote, all of you. I mean, including the children, just do as they always do. Put all the figures together and then go to poll. And then you decide that everyone in southern Nigeria will just go and vote for one person, right? All of you, everybody. And by the time they decide as well to all vote for one person, whatever you give them in the southern Nigeria, they will give you times 3 of that. You haven't heard that your registration they are telling you to go and do right now, they've already done it. They already have the figure. They already know what your capacity will be. Now, here is the joint of it, right? For those of you who are preparing for election, 2023 elections, they are going to present their own northern candidates. And it is the same message. The power must remain in the north. They don't care if all of you, all the states in southern Nigeria, all of you vote for one candidate. They don't care. At the end of the day, it will lead to what they call rerun. When it gets to that rerun, that is where you will know that if they choose never to give you that power again, you will never get it again, ever. And civil war that some of you are afraid of, revolution that some of you are afraid of, will probably be the options then, but I'll get to that. Now, they have that capacity. I might have just oversimplified it for you. That to you, that is so easy, they would never do that. The other one is that in that your 1999 Constitution, Bokwari, being the one that managed to rig himself in the second time, he has the power. If the security report says that election cannot hold, let me give you the example. Election cannot hold in Oyo State. Election cannot hold in Anambra, in Imo State, in Ebonyi State, and in Enugu State. Election cannot hold in Ondo State. Maybe election cannot hold in Ekiti State. And they go to other places and they'll say, well, in northeast of Nigeria, election cannot even hold in about 17 of the 19 states of northern Nigeria. In that capacity, all he will need is for his attorney general to draft a memo that he will sign and declare a martial law. And that martial law that then gives him the military protection, which he already has anyway. The military protection which means he can rule until he sees that they can conduct an election. That's an extreme one that they believe that, with the way the world works now, this will give the people who wanted to organize revolution, it will give them a very quick code to kickstart their revolution in southern Nigeria. Oduduwans will be easy, once we try that and say, no, where Buhari will have to continue. No governor, no senator, no House of Assembly, no anything anymore. It's just Buhari. Military will protect him. Then they will appoint military head of state for all of your states. If you won't try anything, they will bring their military out. You get what I mean now? But that is like extreme. The other party is, why not just find somebody from northern Nigeria and then let us make him the president? That is democratic. If the whole world says that is unfair, we'll tell them, but it is democratic. We voted. Nobody can tell us who to vote for. Our people decided to vote for this person. And as they are telling you to go and register to vote, did you know that they have also created another 600,000 new polling units? From that 600,000 new polling units, 20% or 22% of that is from the southern Nigeria. 78% of that 600,000 new polling units, they are in northern Nigeria. So those places are going to give them another 20, 30 million. They are ready for you for 2023. But many of you are not really prepared. Most of you are waiting for the no fit triumph. The no fit triumph. And right before your eyes, 2021, 2022, and you will then have to choose and see what chaos they deliberately created. The reason why Nigeria military cannot defeat terrorism is because keeping the chaos alive is what will keep the power of the elite in the north going. And with that, they can continue to drag the rest of the country with them. That is why they don't want to talk about restructuring. They don't want to talk about anything that has to do with sitting together and rearrange what this country is. That's why they don't want to. And they are hell-bent. Issa Funtua gave an interview. I don't know if many of you remember that interview. He said, if the Igbos want to be president of Nigeria, they have to join the queue. El Rufaya came out. He said, the Igbos must realize that they cannot abuse their way to presidency. And you remember this Ogunlewe, Sheye Ogunlewe from Ikorodu, former minister of power, another old ag criminal from Yoruba land. He also came out and he said, the Igbos cannot produce the next president because they are not united and they don't have leader. Speaking for the Igbos. Then another group came out. They called themselves Northern Coalition Group. And they said, all of you, whether you be Igbo, whether you be Yoruba, all of you from southern Nigeria, you are dreaming because we will not give that power to any of you. Miyetti Allah came out and said, you said you are banning open grazing. That is a declaration on the north, a declaration of war on northern Nigeria for you to ban open grazing. Because of that, we don't trust you. Forget 2023. If you pass that, if you ban open grazing, my brothers and sisters, we are just 2 weeks away from September. Southern Nigeria will ban open grazing. Does that then mean that they should forget 2023? Or Miyetti Allah is just making noise? Oh, sorry. Bokwari visited Tifnumbu in London. That must be a very good thing for 2023. For the Lagos Sabobakus, Oshogbo Alimajiris, the humbled slaves, the obedient fools, the sophisticated morons. That must be a good thing, 2023. But they have no plan. They are all at the mercy of those who call the shots. Issa Funtua suddenly want to tell all of you, after what they have done to every part of Nigeria, which is going to become Nigeristan, just like Afghanistan and other distant places that you can tell their stories are not really so good. 20 Issa Funtua, he came back and he said, competency, patriotism, and other qualities are what they are going to use to decide who is going to be the next president of Nigeria. the same people that are working and feeding fat from a corrupt, murderous regime of a Daura Megad, somebody who was never competent at anything. Buhari became president of Nigeria as the first and the only person, the only Nigerian ever in history to have overthrown a democratically elected government in Nigeria. He is the first person and the last. He became the president of Nigeria. People started queuing to buy sugar. People started there hoarding and queuing to buy salt. Horrible life that people lived then and they called discipline. Last, he was kicked out as like a criminal that he was by another criminal who became generous. And that is Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, a generous criminal. The story long. To another murderous criminal, to another cunning murderous criminal, then to another forgiven criminal from death row, then to, it's all long. Buhari was kicked out in 1985. My brothers and sisters, it was in house arrest, detention as they called it, for 3 years with Babangida. When they released him, they said he had 150 cows. Let's say they released him in 1988. I was just probably a 4-year-old boy when they released him from detention. Guess what? He had 150 cows, they said. They were paying him pension. He went on to marry. He married Aisha. Took Aisha to London. Well, that's another story, anyway. Well, he had 150 cows in 1988. 1990, 150 cows. In year 2000, 150 cows. In year 2010, 150 cows. They're no born, they're no die, they're no increase, they're no decrease. God knows what he was feeding them. Anyway, it wasn't productive, it wasn't competent. They said he's a cow farmer, but it wasn't a productive cow farmer. Issa Funtua now came out that they are looking for competence. They are talking about competence. They are talking about integrity. Integrity is when you probably value the lives of your people enough to even give yours up for theirs. What happened to the people of Katsina State? Kankara happened. What do you call it? When they kidnapped the Kankara student. And there's another set of students they kidnapped as well. Right? And this happened under the Megad. Somebody that cannot spell hippopotamus. Ask Buhari to spell hippopotamus. Somebody was asking him. They are talking about competency, right? Somebody was asking him, what is livestock?
Livestock.
Huh?
Livestock.
National livestock.
I will talk about it. He doesn't know. He doesn't know. I think he doesn't know.
These are all directed at Mr. President. So corruption, yes, let me... He can talk for himself.
He doesn't know. He doesn't know.
I want Nigerians to give you another opportunity to do another 4 years. Why?
Well, I doesn't know. I think
it doesn't know. Now, the criminals who have taken advantage of that, somebody that doesn't know anything, they are now the godfather. So when you see all these groups that comes out and they give you ultimatum, if you try that with us, forget this, forget that. They are not just talking. They are speaking the minds of their elite. The same elite that abandoned them in the hands of terrorists. The same elite that are pardoning terrorists and they are abandoning the victims of terrorism in Nigeria. But they continue to tell their people that the extremists in their midst, recruiting their children for jihad, jihad that is being funded by these same criminals who watches them being slaughtered, killed. Like stateless people. You don't even kill stateless people like that. The news came today and they said that 22 people were killed. 22 people were killed. They were Muslims. They were coming back from a prayer, New Year prayer, just like, the New Year calendar, Islamic calendar, which started a few days ago or so. They went on to go and pray. And they were coming back. They were attacked by terrorists, but the media called them bandits. They were attacked by terrorists, and 22 of them were slaughtered. The killing spree, the free will to do it, and the fact that the country of 200 million people are not so kind of scared that they have a country that is telling them that they are doing everything to protect them. They have a program to free terrorists, rehabilitate them with your money. But there is no program to punish them. While everybody waits to be killed. How does that work? It's one of the mysteries that we are trying to unravel. In Yoruba land, we have had our own fair share of what's being dragged along with Nigeria is. It's politics to some people, but when the life of our people are involved, then it should be more than politics. 2023. What is the game plan? What do you plan to do, when all of this come to pass? You're going to join the protesters? You're going to try and get your own visa and get out of the place? Who told you you'll be so lucky enough to even last that long? When the truth staring you on the face right now. Nigeria is not working. The projection of Nigeria and the way those who believe that they own Nigeria, the gatekeepers of Nigeria, the path they are leading everybody is a path that even they themselves will have to run away when the whole ceiling comes crashing down. Southern Nigeria is funding. Well, can I say we are indirectly funding the growing terrorism in Nigeria as long as we continue to allow the criminals who are given the back door, exit door for terrorists, and they are not ashamed to say to my face, to your face, that they are doing it in my own interest, in your own interest, releasing terrorists, pardoning them, and telling you that in the rules of engagement of war, they can pardon terrorists when people are still being killed on a daily basis by the same gang of a crook. And records show that more than 80% of them eventually goes back into that same act of terrorism or begin to act as informant for their terrorist brothers in the forest. And when you talk about it, they say it's going to be you are up against the North. It's a narrative that even us in southern Nigeria, the money that they are paying to buy the weapons right before our eyes. Nigeria will take delivery of weapons, and those weapons will end up in the hands of all these terrorists. AK-47 wielding Fulani terrorists are roaming our forests. And the only thing we are being offered is for us to go into a truce, an arrangement that will make us seize some of our land for peace. A country now surrounded by God knows how many they are, terrorists, and they can carry out their attack anywhere without any reprisal, without any arrest. And if eventually we get to know that they make any arrest, there's nothing that guarantees that they will ever be tried. Never. We are funding terrorism. Every tax you are paying, every money that they're deducting from us, from southern Nigeria, from their VAT to the petroleum tax, from all the taxes and everything they are getting from southern Nigeria, and the money being funneled and used to fund buying weapons for the Nigerian military, it is obvious now that we are funding terrorism. And when they said they are going to release the names of those who were funding terrorism in northern Nigeria, when they come to power, 6 years, the reason why they won't give you the names is because in 2015, you all democratically gave the key to your central bank. You gave that to the terrorists who took over government. It's all about policies. Terrorists in Nigeria are now more powerful than Nigerian security agents. Nigerian security agents that can track anyone who says anything about Boko Haram in any part of Nigeria. They will trace you, trace your call, trace everything. They are unable to trace millions, hundreds of millions of naira being flying about in the system, paid for, ransom being paid for the release of the people. And as you are watching this video right now, in northern Nigeria, as the bleeding continues, as more people are being kidnapped and the rest of that, their elites are telling them that the only way out is to keep that power in northern Nigeria. And the question they should ask themselves is this: it's been 6 years. More people have been killed under Boko Haram in the last 6 years than ever killed in 12 years of Boko Haram war. They have left their people at the mercy of the terrorists. If you get kidnapped in any part of Nigeria right now, you better go and pay the ransom. It is so bad that the report of even the security agents leading people to where they are going to pay ransom to terrorists and to kidnappers has become the norm. In southern Nigeria today, there have been a wannabe terrorist and kidnapper. Excuse me. We've had the wannabe terrorist kidnappers in southern Nigeria now. Jobless, unemployed, unemployable, product of a failed Nigeria. They are now emulating those free to do everything they want northern terrorists. They go about kidnapping people, asking for 100 million, 500 million. A child, 5-year-old child, was kidnapped in Ibadan. And the boys who kidnapped him, they are not Fulani. They are not from the Futa, Jalon Futa, wherever and all that. They are the boys who are living in Ibadan. They are not Fulanis. And they kidnapped a child of 5-year-old. And they were asking her parents to pay them 500 million naira. I can't share the video with you. I saw them. The wannabes. That is the future of Nigeria. All it will take other wannabes in southern Nigeria is to have access to gun and sophisticated weapons. The market is there already. Unemployed, unemployable youth who makes up the total population, who makes up about 72% of the total population of the country. They will need to survive in a rigged, corrupt system that will never give them the opportunity until they create one, like going into kidnapping. Wannabes. All they need right now is to have access to guns, real guns, like the ones that the bandits, those terrorists, they call bandits. The firepower that can shoot down a fighter jet. You already have the similar firepower in the Niger Delta region. That is the future of Nigeria. So when you hear that some people they have overrun the northern Nigeria and they've taken over the government, like the Taliban, finally overrun almost now anyway, they are going to overrun the capital in the next couple of days. America went to go and make deal with them. that they can come back. Well, the government of democracy they put together since 2004, after the fall of Taliban, that same idea has failed. It didn't yield anything. After thousands of American soldiers and even civilians were killed, trillions of dollars spent, 20 years of bloodbath, the bloodbath continues. Now the Taliban will gain power again. The person they put in power in Afghanistan, their president or prime minister is now asking for the whole world to come and protect them. How can the whole world come and protect you when the almighty America has pulled out? The American has ordered their embassy to destroy all the vital documents and everything that linked them to Afghanistan, and they are already evacuating them from Afghanistan, including all their local interpreters. Who gave the Taliban the firepower? Who protected the government from 2004? By the time you do all the puzzle, you will realize that the ideology behind those who are currently committing genocide in northern Nigeria, killing and maiming people, destroying lives, because they haven't planned or plotted anything to attack America. If America receive an intel that there is a plot, they know these guys are there in Nigeria. They know where they are. They have the map. They have everything. They watch them every day. They see them do what they do to Nigerians every day. They do. But they can't invade Nigeria. According to them, Nigeria is a sovereign country, blah, 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 blah. But the moment they realize that the ISIL, all these guys are plotting anything to attack America, Nigeria will become another Afghanistan. And, well, maybe if that doesn't happen, one morning you and I can wake up. It has happened before. It happened before. Alhaji Shekau took over Borno State, or how many of you forgot that? When he was controlling about 14 local governments, and it was the caliphate then. You remember the video of Alhaji Shekau praying inside Borno Mosque after they took over Borno? You remember? So it happened before. What they haven't done right now is that they haven't, pushed enough, right, to declare them in other states. As you are watching this video, they have a governor, El Banawi or something, who is the governor, Boko Haram governor of Borno State. As you are watching this video, they did an election. They control majority part of Borno State, what is today's Borno State. As you are watching this video, the same thing goes for Niger State, same thing goes for Yobe, Taraba, Adamawa, all these places, Sokoto, even where their Sultan of Sokoto comes from. Many of these local government areas in Zamfara and all these places are now being controlled by different terrorist groups. It's just a matter of time if they decide to just push everybody out of town and take over government. Just that. It's just a flick. Then where does that leave me and you as Southerners? You see these charlatans who are making noise now, who are bragging about power, who want to keep that power. These guys can overrun them in a matter of days. Many of them don't even go back to their local government or to their villages anymore. They are big men on the national TV. They are big men, big mouth in Abuja, big power. They don't go back to their villages anymore. So how long do you think it's going to take if you're going to wake up one morning and they will say, ISIS have taken over northern Nigeria? Yes. So where does that now leave you and I as Southerners? Would you still want to be president then? Would you still want somebody to be president of Nigeria then? Some said maybe we should stop Boko Haram. The damages they have done is beyond what anybody can fix anymore. Before them, those before them were pretending enough to make you think there is a Nigeria that can be saved or remedied. Those people have realized that they have made a grave mistake. That if the hand of clock is turned back, they probably would have supported the easy and peaceful dissolution of Nigeria. Because you see, when Boko Haram came, they did something. They did not just loot and destroy everything. They made sure that the resources of Nigeria is completely rechanneled back to northern Nigeria, not to help the poor people in Nigeria. I mean, northern Nigeria, no. It's about control. First, they grabbed the military, the defense. They took stock of all the Nigerian military, power and prowess. When they did that, they diverted everything back to northern Nigeria in something that probably looked like them preparing for an eventual civil war. So they will be well equipped enough, because once you blow up the crude pipeline and there's no money from crude oil anymore, yeah, then they will need something to probably push back to reclaim them. So they took over all of that. Nigeria was meant to be protected from the four corners of the country if it was to be a country. It simply means if you put one armory in any part of northern Nigeria, you put one armory storage, the same quantity in southern Nigeria. If you put 5 armory tank and armory, storage or what have you in northern Nigeria for security, for defense, you will put 10 in southern Nigeria. That's how it should be, but it's never like that. And as you are watching this video, southern Nigeria is as vulnerable as anything. If you find any weapon of Nigerian military in any part of southern Nigeria, they have been assigned to be used to wreak havoc and destroy southern Nigeria, in case if you do try to push back and stop them on their agenda of a power grab and continued domination. Now, that's a plot. That's a plot. A plot that is worth your thought. Power grab. They grabbed the defense. They grabbed the central bank to ensure that they control the monetary policy and at the same time have access to be able to print money as much as they want, as long as they want, in case if there will be need for them to have stockpiled resources to fight God knows what, us, the southern Nigeria, once we say we've had enough, we don't want to do this anymore, which many people are still going to agree with. Trust me. Nigeria will make you so disappointed. You will be so disappointed that you find yourself agreeing with so many things that you never believe you will agree with on Nigeria. Many of you are still battling with it. I understand. But Nigeria will push you to that level. Many of us from southern Nigeria are going to see the light. We're going to agree that this is so unfair. And the whole arrangement is so rigged that if it continues like this, then we should forget the future of our children. And in fact, we can just consider ourselves going into extinction. Something that those who can think better of tomorrow, not today, should be worried about. So they grabbed the central bank. And since then, they have been printing money. They don't care about inflation. They don't care about your dollar crashing. They don't care about the economy not working. They don't really give a damn. It's about that power. And it's not working for them. It's not. Power that they have that can't keep their people safe. Power that they have that can't keep their people out of a penury. But rather the power they have that they are using to drag the rest of us into poverty, and they are telling us to stay there or they're going to kill us. So they grabbed that. And they are scared to see those control goes to any other hand. I mean, fair play. When you have your 8 years, other people should have 8 years too. If you feel like you can do whatever you like, then other people should also be able to do whatever they like. That is what is fair in my own book. If you think you can do whatever you like, get away with it. There's this proverb. It's not proverb, it's just like a popular saying. and I don't know where this comes from. And I think people from Biafra, people from Niger Delta and other areas will likely have an idea of this. I don't know if it's a proverb or it's just a saying. So now twice, stingy person, they get red eyes. Twice, 2 times. Person will be stingy person. Now 2 times in they get red eyes. The first time the stingy person will have a red eye is when he is eating his own food alone. And he doesn't want to share with anybody. It's like, the other time stingy person will get a red eye is when other people are also eating their own food alone without sharing. You know, you'll be salivating. You'll be angry. You'll be angry that they are not sharing. That is exactly the dilemma, the state of dilemma than the northern elite, the political elite and the rest of them. That is the dilemma they have found themselves now. They had the power to build a united, prosperous country by being fair to everyone. But when they came back, just like 1966, when they came back in 2015, it was for a revenge, as if to say, even the 97 percenters, the 5 percenters, it can't be like everybody offended the ghost of Bokuwari when he died. You get what I mean now? Nobody is spared. Whether you are 97%, whether you are 5%, as he put it back then, today, nobody is safe. Nobody is spared. At the end of the day. And they are everywhere. They say, another Fulani. They say, yeah, another Fulani. Mafalaje. That's the name of Buhari's father, by the way. Buhari is not Buhari's name. Do you know that? Well, people are doing researches on him, and they came up to tell us that Buhari that you are calling him Bukari, al-Bukhari, they are actually people from Uzbekistan. Back then, they say Al-Fulani. They say somebody who come from the Fulani land. So they are just nicknames. Buhari's father's name is Mafalaje. Or Mafale. Or Mafele. Mafale. So when you hear the name like Maman, it's just the Hausa way of calling Muhammad. You know that. When you read the name like Maman Daura, that simply means Muhammad Daura. So Bukhari, al-Bukhari is not Buhari's name. And you also know that Buhari is not a Nigerian. Even by geographical arrangement, he is from Niger Republic. But it's not even Buhari, but does it really even matter anymore? So they were everywhere. They could do whatever they want. Yeah, that name, Al-Bukhari, is derived from one Islamic scholar, who they were calling then Al-Bukhari. He was a preacher in this Asian part of the world back then. So it was so popular that parents were naming their children, giving their children Al-Bukhari as their middle name and all that. So because you don't have a like that as your phone in Nigeria, so they changed it to just KH. It was meant to be Bukhari. That's a Bukhari. But guess what? They don't say Buka in Nigeria, so they just used Buhari. That's how they removed the K and left the H. And it was just a name of a place. I mean, name, a synonym of a person who came from a place that we trace back to be a place called the Bukhara. There's a place called Bukhara in Uzbekistan or somewhere there. That Bukhara, that preacher, that Islamic preacher who was famous back then among those people, right? That famous preacher was called El-Bukhari, a man from Bukhara. So that Bukhari, his popularity was what gave many parents of those era in the 50s, in the 60s, they said. And as, Sunni Islam, Hausa, Fulani, Islamic, wherever, right? Some of them adopted that and they started calling Buhari. But he ended up having to say it's a Buhari anyway. So they said the guy is the guy who was reading Bukhara. It was the guy who was reading, writing many hadith, Islamic hadith. It was very popular, very popular among Islamic believers of that time, that they adopted that name and they, and Bukhari and the rest of that. So they took over everywhere. They turned the government of Nigeria, the institutions of Nigeria, everywhere you go, they turned it into a Fulanization government, a Fulanized government. They turned Nigeria to Fulani Republic of Nigeria, and they told the rest of the country to go to places if they don't like it. Now it's almost time. You get what I mean? Now it's almost time, and they are afraid. And they are now talking about competency, loyalty. Don't be deceived by these people and their, what is it they call that thing again? I forgot that thing that they always use to gain access to government and pretend to be part of that government until they can then change that government to their own kind of Sharia style of government. They have a name for it. Help me. Somebody said it's a takia. Is it called takia? Takia. Takia is not even in the interest of their people. It is just a self-serving power grab greed of these guys. But they have done so well using religion, especially what they have done in northern Nigeria, enough that you see extremists preaching about extremism and the rest of that. They know the preachers who does those in northern Nigeria, but they protect them. Those ones are the recruiting cells for different kind of terrorists that eventually goes into the forest to unleash terrorism on their own people. So what I don't understand is that how long are we going to fund that as a people? Is it going to be as long as our own greedy politicians from the southern Nigeria are probably tired and fed up of the fraud and deceit they continue to market to their people every 4 years for the pecuniary gains that they get from this contraption, the arrangement that they know kills more of their people than they can ever explain themselves? Is it when they are tired? When are they going to know that? How long are we going to stop funding this? The chunk of the money they put towards buying weapons for the military of Nigeria that won't even protect the people of Enugu community from the Fulani invaders that killed them. Because you see, they control the media. They can tell us that those who killed the people in any places, they are unknown gunmen. But you and I know the operational procedure of the terrorists. And people who got attacked, those who survived, they know those who attacked them. You buy weapons, you pay your taxes, you do all you have to do. You know what I mean? But yet, you are not safe. And you are not even free to even what? To even defend yourself. So when are we going to begin to know that as much as all of us are so angry, many of us are so angry, not happy with the way things have turned out, right? How long do you think it's going to take those of us who are still pretty much believing in Nigeria, how long do you think it's going to take them to realize that for every penny every penny they make from any part of southern Nigeria in the name of Nigeria, that goes into paying ransom, paying for rehabilitation of terrorists, training of terrorists, and reintegration of terrorists. Every penny that goes into buying weapons that ended up in the hands of the terrorists, for every one of them, you are paying for it from southern Nigeria. Think about that. If you don't know those who are funding terrorism in Nigeria, that means you have never really been paying attention. Take a look at this. Within 6 years of this government, the terrorism industry in Nigeria grew from a paltry multi-million dollars industry where people just steal budget money, right? And, swindle that, swap that for weapons that ended up in the hands of a terrorist and the rest of that until 6 years ago. And this jumped by over 200%. Nigeria was spending about 500, 600 billion to fight terrorism when Goodluck Egbere Jolantan was there. Immediately, Boko Haram came in. First, they increased Boko Haram's security votes from $1 million that it was getting at the time, where Goodluck Egbere Jolantan was getting. They increased it to an unknown figure that people are telling us that it's now around $100 million, because as the insecurity increased, the security vote of the president must increase. Now, and they don't take it in Naira. Then Buratai the Butcher and gang, they were able to supervise the wastage, expenditure of 10 trillion naira. In 6 years, my people, 6 years, they spent over 10 trillion naira fighting terrorism, fighting Boko Haram, fighting all these guys they said they are fighting. But guess what? Rather than for terrorism to end, it just gets better and better, and it became a multi-billion-dollar industry that it got to a point that they became friends than those who supervised the killings, the increase of internally displaced person in Nigeria from what they told us was a million people displaced to over 10 million people displaced now. Sometimes they brandish 3 million, 5 million. Don't believe them. More than 10 million people have been displaced from their homes, and more than 10,000 communities have been ransacked and completely no longer in control of Nigeria as you are watching this video. And 80% of them are from the northern Nigeria, and they are in northern Nigeria. That's how much. That's what they got. 6 years of spending trillion of naira, 6 years of, rehabilitating terrorists. That did not bring down any terrorism. Rather, it emboldened them that right before our eyes, Boko Haram, ISWAP, Ansaru, Fulani Bandi, all of them came together. Oh boy, they formed a coalition under this Boko Haram's government right before our eyes. They formed a coalition of a bigger terrorist network. And America said, listen, guys, from the 2021, before the end of 2021, you will feel more the presence of the invading ISIS fighters in southern Nigeria. To complete the job, they are going to catch us or get us caught unaware. Oh boy, are those things not making sense now, especially now? And I ask, how long do you think it's going to take those who are claiming to be leaders of southern Nigeria to realize that the power they want to grab is actually not there? And do they even have any plan to defend us? They won't let us defend ourselves. They want to kill Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They want to kill Oloye Sunday Igboho. And when the news came that America said the Al-Qaeda, the ISIS fighters are already in Nigeria. Okay. But the reason why America is not telling us a lot about their activities in order, see, these guys have the weapons to shoot down a fighter jet. There's no one in southern Nigeria with such weapon. I don't know if the Niger Delta militant Avengers, I don't know if they have such weapon to shoot down a military jet. I'm not so sure. And if they do, I don't think they've ever succeeded or tried it before. But under this government, terrorists called bandits shot down fighter jet, Alpha jet that is kind of more powerful, more stealth, and more kind of faster than the Kanu or Kanu jet they are buying. Bandits shot it down. Now gun then shoot them down. The people who have that capacity, it's the only reason why America is not probably telling us much is that they haven't started plotting, putting some people on a plane or to hijack plane or to, you know what I mean? They haven't started doing that. Or maybe that is why America, or they have not started kidnapping the Americans in Nigeria. Maybe when they start doing that, that's when America will then increase the tempo. But as you are watching this video, America knows that Nigeria is now like the West African hub for all terrorist fighters. And you and me are being told to go and register to vote in 2023. Vote for who? What is that person going to do? They are so corrupt that after failing their own people, more people killed under these criminals, they rewarded those who failed to protect them. Buratai the butcher, they made him an ambassador. So as we speak, it seems that Americans' interest is not threatened yet, but it's just a matter of time. That interest is going to be, threatened if ISIS indeed have taken over in Nigeria, as we are told. It's just a matter of time. The moment now they have access to everything they need, they have access to the expanse of land, and they also have the immunity from those in power. Somebody said something, and he said he met this terrorist in DSS detention. He was caught for, he was a Boko Haram member, and they met, this guy is an activist, right? Kefasin, his name is Kefasin, I can't remember his second name, right? This guy was talking about the killings in southern Kaduna, reporting figure for figure, event, time, and all of that, pictures and all that, from the invasion of southern Kaduna in 2015. And El Rufaya, Kaduna Littlefinger, ordered for his kidnapping. They kidnapped this guy from Port Harcourt. DSS went there, they kidnapped him, and they took him to Kaduna. And then from Kaduna, they took him to the DSS detention. In that detention, they locked him up with Boko Haram fighters, bandits. And they were telling him that, what did you do? Because he is from Kaduna. He can speak their language to some extent. And he said he was having a chat with them. And two of them told him what they have done. That they kill soldiers, kill everybody. Down Boroba, blah, 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 And he told him, he said, I'm going to leave this place very soon. We are the one in government. It is our government. There's nothing that will happen. And he was like, but you told me that you killed soldiers, you killed this. Those soldiers are infidels and all of that. So what? I'm going to leave this place very soon. That guy spent almost 2 years in DSS detention. They didn't take him to court. And true to his word, true to their words, all of them, they took them away. Probably ended up in what they call the rehabilitation centers, reintegration centers. So averagely, as you are watching this video, an average terrorist, all these terrorists in northern Nigeria, whatever they call their mission, whether they are kidnapping people, whether they are killing people, whatever they are doing right now, they have the confidence that they can never be arrested or be tried for those crimes. Then they started the propaganda of them, surrendering now. How can you have over 7,000 terrorists in 6 years that you captured and then you rehabilitated? How could you have all those that none of them gave you information that could help to end the terrorism if the government is not the one sponsoring it? Does that mean that out of all the 7,000 people that that have repented, None of them loved northern Nigeria enough to give them information intel. They'll say this one is the one making bomb for them. That one is the one making gun for them. This is the one that is running this out for them. They continue to displace all manner of funny people. And while they are doing that, the terrorists are busy kidnapping and killing people. The news will break the following day. You kidnapped their bomber. You kidnapped this. You arrested this. You arrested that. And no single one could give them the information about, oh, this is the one. Is the one doing transfer for them. It's okay. How none of them could lead you to end the terrorism? It's because they are the ones sponsoring it. So we in the southern Nigeria, the Yoruba people, the Biafrans, if you ask for what is the way out, the number one way out is that, remember, for the first time, the politicians in southern Nigeria came together and they said they were banning open grazing. It was a security measure to manage the situation where that Fulani terrorists have pushed the people of southern Nigeria to. Is a reaction that you would expect their counterpart political guys from northern Nigeria to reciprocate by ensuring that they also ban open grazing. To start with, send a message to these terrorists that they can walk about with cows and AK-47 guns, and then they can do whatever they want. And if a community fights back, then that community becomes, a ghost town. You can't do that. That should have been reciprocated from northern Nigeria. But rather than that, they fired back. They threatened the entire southern Nigeria. They threatened the honeypot that is giving them the honey, that is making them feel like powerful today. They threatened the rest of us and they said, you are attacking us for banning open grazing. That should have been the red light that every reasonable person, every reasonable leader should see. Not the selfish interest of me. I want to be president. I want to be this. I want to be that in 2023. When you become that president, you'll be president over who? Over graveyards. Is that what they want to do? Because that's what Bukwari is right now. President of graveyards. They've told you, forget it. You can't ban open grazing and then think we can trust you with power. So if South have anything at all, it should be proving them wrong, that they have no power over life and death like they think they do. Rather than chicken out, pose for picture, wait for a day, they will call them Senator this, Governor that, because those days are coming to an end. They are coming to an end. And surprisingly, many of them have no plan of how to even sustain the little power they think they have in southern Nigeria, because they don't have any. You don't have any power if you don't have military. And part of the mistake that those who claim to be politicians in southern Nigeria is that they have soldiers, but they are untrained amateurs, trained only to be violent, non-strategic in a way, political thugs that they buy guns for. Northern Nigeria and their elite, they are forgiving terrorists. They are rehabilitating terrorists. And they are reintegrating terrorists into the military. And those are the military that they will tell to protect the regime. And if this military are told to arrest you or even kill you as a governor, they will do it without question. Then you'll be asking yourself, are this Nigerian army, are these Nigerian soldiers? But Maiyegun is telling you today that right before your eyes, these criminals are boldly telling you that they are forgiving terrorists. And terrorists can be, a repentant terrorist can be president of Nigeria as long as he lives his old way. What is his old way? Killing people. one day, before he lives out his old way as you are, you will be that score. And we are saying it to them. Politicians from southern Nigeria. When the IPOB, when they declared a sit at home, a form of a civil disobedience to send a message to the rest of the Nigeria and the world that you cannot continue to be criminally or to be operating criminally and expected to be accorded the respect of a responsible nation. They decided to stage that protest. It didn't go down well with the powers that be, those who claim to be powers that be in southern Nigeria, especially in southeast Nigeria. Even though a deranged mad Musa or foolish Muhammad from northern Nigeria is celebrating and is saying, we want you to destroy your economy. Sit at home. Don't go to anywhere. Thinking is mocking them. He had no clue. However, that message was so strong that even those who were beginning to also agree that the IPOB members have been treated so badly, and indeed, they deserve a lot of support. Some of them were beginning to come out of their shells. That sit at home caught them unaware. And the threat of more of it to come put them off completely. But Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer came out, Barrister Ejiofor. He came out and he said, he spoke with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu extensively. He is of a sharp, clear mind. They discussed. And from his position, he said, the sit at home should be suspended. That's the Barrister Ejiofor. People have been reacting to that. I am not going to tell you, I've told people in the past, I said, the reason why those who put their lives on the line and put the weight of a struggle like this on their shoulders, people like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, which I personally believe that he didn't choose the battle. The battle chose him. No one will conveniently choose to be dehumanized, beaten, locked up, denied his liberty, denied his freedom. I don't think anyone would deliberately choose that. And that's why I don't believe those who initially thought this was all about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and whatever he wanted to make from it and the rest of that. There's a lot. And there are some decisions that, in the long run, it is for the betterment of the crusade, of the campaign. When the news came that they were going to suspend it, I kind of personally feel good. Just as honest as I can be. Feeling good in the sense that a message is sent, and the fear that if you do it again, what that can be to them is enough for them to never, ever think you are inconsequential. When Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped from Kenya, people said, this is going to be a problem. ESN is going to go mad everywhere. ESN is going to start, you know what I mean? No, they didn't. They stayed on the course of staying back in the forest to ward off the terrorists who are making life a hell for their people in those rural communities. They didn't come to the city to attack anyone because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped. They said they were expecting the IPOB member to block everywhere and be on everywhere and protest and everywhere. To shut down the Southeast Nigeria and everywhere. Those who were wishing then, they were not in Southeast Nigeria. They have no idea what it is to live in Southeast Nigeria, to live in Biafra land, especially in this moment and time. But they wanted them to be on the street because they knew then that it would just be a killing spree. And those killings will be justified by the same criminals, by the same element, the ambush slaves on their phones everywhere, all over the world, asking Biafrans to come on the streets to protest the kidnapping of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They didn't. But the moment the IPOB said they were going on sit-at-home, a sit-at-home that is not their regular sit-at-home when they remember their lost and their lost heroes. That was new. They weren't expecting any compliance and the rest of that. And that happened. That shook them. Nobody was killed. Nobody was attacked because the IPOB member, every other thing that they popped up as propaganda didn't really fly. And when the IPOB said, we're going to do it again every Monday. You're going to be sitting at home every Monday. That scared them. And from what I was told, that was enough. Those who expected you to come violent and all of that, and you didn't. You told them that there are other ways to fight without having to. You have been peaceful all along. They have been violent all along. They are still violent against you. But deploying that powerful tool and being very careful in using it is one of the most genius decisions that came out of the directorate of IPOB. I don't know how many of you see it. You all have your own kind of, suspicion and all of that. I've read a lot. I've read people's opinions, and all I can tell you is that some of you are just overreacting, and many of you who actually understand this may not know that. You see that tool you discovered. Every time you make an announcement that we're going to sit at home next week, you can imagine how scared those who appear to be so powerful right now, because they have guns, because they have prisons that they can lock people in, because they can tie your hand in your back, right? Tie your hands to your back and torture you and beat you up because you can't fight back. The people that feel so powerful when they see Biafrans, telling them that you're going to sit at home scares them. Even though they can tell you that you are destroying your economy when you do that. No, they don't give a damn about your economy. They don't. But they are scared if this becomes popular. If other parts of Nigeria begin to adopt it. What if that same idea of sit at home becomes idea of sit out, where people will then take over government buildings, assembly buildings, every government building, police station, military barrack, everywhere. Millions of people will be on the street. What if that becomes a thing? You scare them. And you have to be very careful of how you use that weapon. It is a very, very powerful tool that some of you may not really understand yet. I understand it. And just like a gun, when you give somebody a gun, you have no idea what he can do with it until they pull the trigger. Sit at home, especially the one you embarked on, the one that comes with a demand. Sit at home in Biafra land has always been about remembrance. Biafrans have never used sit-at-home protest to demand for anything. And when you made that demand that we are going to be sitting at home every Monday until the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, even those who claim to be politicians in Southeast Nigeria knows what damages that will be. Complete one. So when they said, and then they know that they just have to turn the people against you. You just need to tell the people that, tell them how this affects them in the other way. And if you continue using it, then the same people that continue to listen, they will begin to push back. That means it will come back to bite you. But the fact that they know you can use it, and you can use it to make a demand. Enough is scary enough. So pulling out and saying, well, you will still sit at home. Yes, you will still sit at home and protest against all the injustice as long as the injustice continues. But you will be using the weapon now, every now and then when it is necessary. Like when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is expected to appear in court. A sit at home in his honor can be made to send a very massive message and put further pressure on those holding him because he's done nothing. And that's why I said I love that. When they called it off, it's good. The message is sent. And I wish, like people do ask that, Maiyegun, we wish that we can do the same thing in Yoruba land. Of course, I wish we have that kind of a tool. But we also have other means of putting our own pressure on those that we want to make things change. Maybe if we put more pressure. We already have those who have dedicated their time, their resources to continue to educate our people, to sensitize our people about the Oduduwa nation and why the southern Nigeria should come together enough, the political class, the ruling class, or whatever they want to call themselves, before they become a victim of what made them what they are now. Nigeria made them who they are. The same Nigeria is about to swallow them. And those who are going to make that happen are those who believe that they have the power in northern Nigeria to do anything as we speak. Before Nigeria become Nigeristan, can the southern Nigeria and everyone from there begin the process of a pull-out? Somebody said, Maiyegun, but that pull-out is so strong. We can't just pull out overnight. I said, of course we are not going to pull out overnight. That's not how it works. But can people at least admit now that we are in a one chance that we eventually continue to make us to fund terrorism, and the terrorist sponsor who love power than the safety of their people, while our people will continue to be endangered with the policies of those criminals that will continue to impoverish us and lead us to where? A state of perdition. I mean, when you tell them to know that, and they have a saving grace, a time to save all of us, we have a time to save ourselves now. And I don't want to sound like I'm trying to look for help from them. No, I'm only sending a message of warning. I'm looking forward to September. By September, Osun State, they have passed their own anti-grazing, open grazing law. Or your state, open grazing is illegal there. Osun State is illegal in Osun State now. It is illegal in Ogun State. It is illegal in Ondo State. It is illegal in Lagos State. As you are watching this video, it is illegal to openly graze in any part of Yoruba land. But we don't have any resources to implement such a law. We don't have any resources. We don't have the security forces that, we have Amotekun that cannot defend themselves because Amotekun are not allowed to carry guns. So we make those laws, but we don't have any resources to implement them. We don't. That's why you still see cows on the Third Mainland Bridge. That's why you still see cows in Oshodi, or cows in your schools, cows in your hospital, cows everywhere, on your road, Ogun, everywhere. That's why you still see them. There is no, though they will say they arrest some, they arrest this and that, but you continue to see the cows. They have no law. I mean, they have no resources to defend them. They don't. So if anybody says they have any plan to keep us safe, they should start proving it. The Yetiala have given, they have asked the Delta State government to give them land, or they will not know peace. Same thing in Bayelsa. Ebonyi State is already giving them land. That's part of the problem. Right? Enugu State, we've heard that about 8 communities right now. I'm working on that, by the way. That information shocked me when they told me that some communities in Enugu State government is relocating the people because they want to settle Fulani terrorists and their families there. A lot is going on. It's like a give and take. Just like a David Umahi signed up with them. I'll give you some land, you will stop killing my people. And when they killed more of his people, what did he say? He said, we made an arrangement, we made an agreement with them that they will not kill our people again. But we are so shocked that the day they came to kill over 57 people in Ebonyi State, the local Fulanis that people know, they moved their families out of Ebonyi, their communities. They moved all of them out of that place. And 2 days later, the foreign Fulani came with guns and they killed 57 people. Overall, they killed nearly 100 people in Ebonyi State in that month. All these arrangements are going on the ground. There is no real plan to stop them in the southern Nigeria. So last, it's a deja vu. A deja vu. We don't know where this is going to end. And then when you see people who say, let's be straightforward, let's be clean. Except we decide to detach ourselves from this arrangement, we'll continue going in circle. Some people are waiting for the time that a Yoruba man will be president, an Igbo man will be president, so that he can then what? Recruit Igbo soldiers, recruit Yoruba soldiers, and do what? Go back and then chase ISIS out of Zamfara, chase them out of Sokoto, chase them out of Adamawa, Niger, chase them out of all these places. Is that what will happen? So who's going to pay for that as well? The southern Nigeria. And then what happened to those who have ensured that no terrorist is tried in that same military? What about their funders? What about those who are actually funding the terrorism? You and I, we can easily point fingers and say, this person, that person has been pointed as among those who have influenced or funded terrorism in Nigeria. But they will tell you and me to go and bring evidence. But government of Nigeria with DSS and the rest of them, they have no evidence of those who are indeed sponsoring terrorism, and they're seeing to the killings, these mass killings of Nigerians. So is that what the Yoruba man is going to come and do? Find you the killers of who and who? So Nigeria will turn to our Nigeristan, and before it does, just know that election can't save you. 2023 election can't save anyone. And if you are probably going to be smart enough, know this and you will know peace. Okay? So if there's anything we should be pushing for, somebody said, Maiyegun, there is no way out of it. These guys are prepared for for the wars. If it's going to be civil war, they are ready. And it seems that they are the only one ready. The southern Nigeria have been so caged that a whole state governor can be arrested. Under this arrangement, they can arrest a state governor for gun running if they realize that he's working and ensuring that weapons are being moved into our own security forces in Yoruba land to protect us in Yoruba land or any part of southern Nigeria. And it's true. All they have to do is just arrange for his. They will just declare him as a criminal. Like before your eyes, soldiers will take over his state. Who will probe them? You go to court, they will arrest him and take him to Abuja, put him in chains. And these are things that can happen in the coming weeks or months towards 2023. Why should you waste your money, waste your energy, telling people that somebody should be president in 2023, or when Bukwari ends his term, all of this is going to go away or disappear? I don't know. And I hope those who are supposed to hear this are hearing this tonight. Okay. Before Nigeria turned to Afghanistan, it is better now to begin the process of pulling out. If you have not been thinking about it before now, dragging us into what they have cooked, and they are so scared to let other people be in charge, because they know that whoever is in charge of the federal government is in charge of the 19% of Nigeria. If that person is their own stooge, it will do whatever they want. If that person is not their stooge, it simply means that all the fraudulent all the fraudulent gains and the marginalization of the rest of the country that they have done for 8 years will come back to bite them. Everything will be like a house of cards, crumble by just a blow, just a mouth blow of earth. Now they are scared. Nigeria is not safe. Nigeria is poor. Nigeria is corrupt. But they are scared to leave that power. They are talking about competency and the rest of that. And in the absence of that, they are ready for a civil war. If it's going to be a civil war, are the people in southern Nigeria ready for what is coming? I don't know. And in my own opinion, it doesn't seem so. Thank you so much for your time tonight. Yes, this is where I'm going to draw the curtains. I won't take calls again tonight, okay? But tomorrow is Sunday. If you have the time, join me in the morning when we're going to have the Sunday sermon, if you have the time. Thank you so much for your time. And to my friends on YouTube, yes, you can leave me that thumb up before you go. I'm going to see you all some other time. And good evening.
Súnrakì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ Súnrakì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀ Súnrakì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀ Súnrakì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀ Súnrakì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Maiyegun máa bí.
Àní ẹ̀ Súnrakì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Maiyegun máa bí.
Àní ẹ̀ Súnrakì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Presido bá rúfin o.
Maiyegun máa bí.
Àní ẹ̀ Súnrakì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Kí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Maiyegun máa bí.
Àní ẹ̀ Súnrakì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń gba rìbá.
Maiyegun máa bí.
Àní ẹ̀ Súnrakì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Maiyegun máa bí.
Àní ẹ̀ Súnrakì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Maiyegun máa bí.
Àní ẹ̀ Súnrakì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ Súnrakì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀ Súnrakì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ Súnrakì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ Súnrakì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ Súnrakì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ Súnrakì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.